starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, we have Mike on the show this evening, and Mike is here to tell me all about himself, his journey, and how we've got to today. But also, we were talking about Russell last week, and so it's a case of, from our side of things, from the bariatric community, and we're here to talk about that side of things today. So, welcome, Mike. Thank you very much for coming
Hello,
today.
everyone. Yep, I'm done. It's been an interesting day.
So tell me about your side of your story. Why you put the weight on? Have you always been like that, or is it a new thing?
Okay, yeah.
Tell me about
I was
yourself.
always, I've been big all my life. I was always that chubby kid. You know, weight never seemed to fall off on me. And the thing is that back when I was a kid, I didn't eat all that much, but I played around a lot, so my weight kind of stabilized. By the
Mm.
all the stuff I did when I was a kid. Um, and then I was diagnosed when I was like 10 with thyroid disease, and I apparently outgrew it, but it affected my weight back then, even then. Um, so getting up into my teen years, I did a lot of athletics. I played football. I wrestled. I power lift, and I mean again, the weight was there. I was never like the fleetest foot in the world, and I was
Mm.
big. But I had muscle base that was hiding a bigger nightmare. Um, so as I transitioned out of school, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, not really giving two craps about my life, a lot of mental issues, a lot of just, personal demons that I had to deal with.
Mm.
And I hit a lot of that in booze and drugs and food. And then somewhere around when I turned about, so when I graduated from high school, I was 325 pounds.
Right.
I thought, well, I'm not gonna get any bigger than that. Well, that didn't happen that way. So um, by the time I turned 40, I was pushing 600. Um, and then right before I started the surgery in 2019, I was almost 7.
Right.
And, you know,
It's
and,
killing
and
you.
huh?
It was killing you.
Yeah, it was absolutely killing me. I could not, I was starting not to be able to function in my own job. And I
Mm.
knew something had to change. And my wife had an opportunity to get the gastric sleeve, or she got the bypass. And then I kind of followed suit like 6 months later. I got the
Mm.
sleeve because I was basically too fat to get the bypass.
It's
Just
crazy, isn't it?
still, it's
Yeah.
still on. It's still the running gag in this house. I was too morbidly obese to actually.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? I had the same problem.
Yeah, just thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. You're an idiot. so
Yeah.
um uh,
Yeah.
so right now, I am now what, two, almost, well, I'm a year and a half out, a little over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
I am now at 340 pounds. I have lost, from the complete
Amazing.
journey, I've lost over 300 pounds.
Yeah, it's just
But
amazing.
from the day of my surgery to right now, I still got to lose another 14 pounds to get to 325.
Yeah,
So again,
and you'll get there.
yeah, I'll eventually get there. It'll be one of those
Yeah,
things to work at. But uh,
but you're working out, you're doing all
yeah,
the right
yeah,
things, the food's
and
good,
and
the
the thing,
water's
well,
good.
and the thing is that when I first, and this is something that I kind of regretted not doing right off the bat. I wish I would have started working out right after I was able to from the surgery.
Right.
I think it would have helped out a lot. I think it would have killed off some of the stalls I went through, and I
Mm.
went through a lot of them. I would go through months without losing a
Mm.
pound. Well,
You
and I
did.
just want to do this, and you know, and from our group, I mean,
Yeah.
I've gone through like this last stall I went through where I almost went 2 months without like
2 months.
losing a actual pound. I would gain, lose, and then like a week ago. 2 weeks ago, I lose 9 pounds out of the blue. Okay, come back a week later, gained all 9 pounds back, and
Crazy,
then
isn't
a
it?
week, week later, yeah, and then last week I lost all of it but 4.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
not.
make sense, does it?
It
Any of it?
actually makes absolute no sense. It's
No.
just like whatever, you're killing me here.
Yeah.
But I I I I sit here and I need the one thing that even like the last time we had talked,
Mm.
and I had this, and the one major thing that I don't think people are getting when they get this surgery, it is a life change.
It
It's
is.
not the end all cure all. It can't be,
No.
because the demons are still there. I mean, to
Yeah.
this day, I go past a piece of chocolate cake and I still want to get it. I still want to hammer that. I just learned that I can cut it in half and take a half a
Yeah.
hit, and then I'll just work out a little bit harder the next day.
Next day.
Uh,
Yeah.
but
No, it's
I
true. The mindset is really hard to work with,
right,
the
and I
mental
think,
side of it.
and this is kind of going back to, and kind of going against, Russell's, comments, and Russell, okay, I'll give him a little credit. Okay, he is right. It does come down to a choice, but he poo-pooed everything else past that,
Mm.
because there is, and you had tried mentioning it, and all he kind of just did is like, well, it's a choice. See what I'm talking about? I'm the greatest person in the world. No, you're not. You're an asshole. Sorry, I had to go there.
No, it kept going back to a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And we
and
were
the thing is,
talking, weren't
and
we?
how he actually stood there and basically and said, "Oh, there's no disorders that that will make you eat." Yeah, there is. I mean, there's 3 of them that I can give you right off the top of my head. And
Yeah.
this is from the West Texas Bariatric Center. Binge eating disorder. Yes, that
Is
is an
this
order.
yeah.
And then compulsive overeating. That's not Prater Willie. Prater Willie is completely different.
Mm.
This here, what you will do is you will actually eat till you get sick,
Yeah.
and then you won't throw it up. You'll get to the point where you will binge so hard that your stomach is about ready to burst, and
Yeah.
until that number hits, you're not going to stop eating.
No.
And then the other big one that is Prater Willie's, or Prater Willie. And guess what, folks? You're never satisfied. That's why people that have that usually have staff, and they have to lock everything down, and they have to make sure there's no food not at all. There's
Yeah.
absolutely none, because they will eat until they will actually eat until they die,
Mm.
because they're never satisfied.
No.
But again, your cousin sits there and gets up on that throne of bias and says, "Oh, there's nothing like that here. No, 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 no. There is. Why do
Yeah.
you think? Why do you think when we go through our process that we have to go sit down and talk to a psychologist,
Mm.
because
We
they
do.
want to make sure that we don't have one of these disorders? Number one, number two, that we are prepared for what's going to happen." Because guess what, folks? A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I just need to lose 30 pounds. Don't get the surgery. Do not get the surgery if you only need to lose 30 pounds. If you
Yeah.
need to lose 30 pounds, go diet. Go on the yo-yo diet scandal and just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Do not use this as a tool to lose only 30 pounds.
Yeah.
I will flat out, and if anybody wants to debate me on that, let them.
Mm.
Because here's my problem. If you're using it for 30 pounds, that means you have zero willpower to lose that 30 pounds. Because guess what? They wouldn't give me my surgery unless I lost 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Yeah. Okay. No. But like I just
But the psych side of it, the NHS, that you've got a whole program before you can have it's 3 years on the 3 years on the NHS to
okay.
have your surgery, okay? And this is part of what we were saying. But in that is a psyche test and the whole program on literally just the psychologist side of things. So
Oh
make
yeah.
sure that you're mentally right.
But like in the United States, I mine was kind of different. Mine was different than a lot of people's journey, because I paid cash. My
Mm,
insurance didn't cover it, so I was able to kind of force a lot of people to do things that they didn't want to do, especially my surgeon. Because I was like, look, I'm not going to jump through all these hoops like these insurance people do, because guess what? It's coming out of my pocket.
yeah, yeah.
And so, unless you
I
want
was
my
the same.
$22,500, then guess what? Yeah, I'll go find somebody else that will do it.
Yeah, I was the same.
So, but most insurances will actually have you go on a 6 month journey.
They do.
To make sure you're ready.
Hmm.
And the big thing is on that journey, and this is the hardest. This is something that I still struggle with today. It's knowing what portion.
Mm.
Because I can tell you, yeah, I can sit there and boo in the face and say, oh yeah, I can, you can do this, and you can do this, and this is your choice, this is your choice. No, 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 no. It's knowing how far you can push
Yeah,
and far you want to push. There's a
yeah.
difference.
Want.
Yeah, is your body needing it, or are you just shoving it down your throat to shove it down your throat?
Yeah, yeah. There's a huge difference.
And there's a huge difference, and,
Mm,
and and I and I feel bad for like some of the people we even talk to that are in such dire thoughts about
mm.
how their weight is working, and I'm like, guys, I understand it sucks. I
Yeah,
mean, and like I've told you before in the past in the conversations, I consider them demons. They're all demons. The
yeah.
drink, drinking the alcohol that I used to do, my God, you would just
Tell me about it.
it was a fifth of Jack, a fifth of maybe 2 fifths of Jack, and about a 30 pack of beer a night.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I was killing
Yeah,
myself.
get it.
It didn't dawn on me that I was killing myself.
Mm.
And again, as your great cousin would say, that was my choice, but it was also my choice to wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can, it's like an addict. You can help an addict out as much as you want, but the addict has to realize that there is a problem before he will receive that help.
Which was my point. Let's get to the very beginning to see what that problem is before we get to the point of obesity and needing that
Right.
side of things.
It's understand you want to look at the understanding of how that journey starts, where
Mm.
that journey starts, what makes that person predisposed.
Yeah.
What your cousin also failed to understand is that obesity actually is a transitional disorder.
Mm.
My whole family is obese.
Yeah.
They're
Mine isn't. It was just me. But mine was that mine, let's go on to it, were the medications.
and therein lies a lot of medications, and I know we have a
Shall I
couple
put that
screenshots.
up?
Yeah,
Shall
yeah,
I put
put one
that
of them
up?
up. Yeah. Now,
Uh,
understand something. Um, a lot of psych meds and a lot of seizure meds can cause weight gain because they're mood stabilizers. They will screw with the mood, and they will also dumb down your metabolic rate to where anything you intake will cause weight gain.
mm-hmm.
The big boys out here in the United States, a lot of people use is like Depakote, Risperdal, diazepam. These
Oh,
are all these are
quintarpin was the one I was on.
yeah, and
Quintarpin.
these are all mood stabilizers. These will affect weight gain. It is. I have a client that I deal with, and again, little background on me. I work with adults with developmental disabilities, okay, and I know where my HIPAA lines line, so I'm going to be able to talk the way I can talk. I have a client that I have dealt with for years, okay, that was on Depakote for a very long time,
Mm.
okay, and was able to kind of control the weight gain. They turned around and put her on lithium. It is I will tell you right now, lithium, if you ever are on it, find a way to get off it.
Yeah,
That drug is a nightmare
it
because
is.
it will screw with your dude. She ballooned
It
up
screws with
150
everything.
pounds in less than 6 months being on that med.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally realized that she was getting lithium poisoning, and they pulled her off it. Thank Christ.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, your boy sat there and said, "Oh, it's not about the drugs. Drugs aren't the problem." Yeah, they
Well,
are.
he kept saying, "Oh, there's no calories in the
There's
drug.
no
There's no
calories in the
calories in the
pill.
drug." And I
No.
was trying to think off the top of my head. And I'm
Yeah.
not that way inclined. I
He's
panic.
right. There's no calories in the pill, but what the pill does to you medically can cause that.
Mm.
Again, but like I always said, I think he's got mommy daddy issues, but that's just between me and you.
I think it like you said, it's the metabolism that slows down with it. Let's see whether making you gain weight.
Yeah, as
So
many as
same
15% will gain weight. Will have weight issues related to the medications. And what happens
when
is
I was
that,
one.
well, and again, you're not the only. I mean,
Mm.
my field that I work with adults with developmental disabilities. A lot of my clients are taking psych meds. And
Yeah.
guess what, folks? A lot of my clients are overweight. And the thing is that what got me kind of pissed is that little fucking story he came up with. Sorry, I'm getting angry.
Yeah.
That story he came up with, that woman that was in the power chair.
Oh yeah.
And he sat there and he became very goddamn
shocked.
judgmental. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so if I go by you and I listen to this conversation and I look at you, can I be as judgmental as you and going, were you born an asshole or did you work at it your whole life? Yes, that's a song in the United States.
Yes.
I don't know if they play it in England, but there's a song in the United States that says, were you born an asshole or did you work at it your whole life? Yes.
I've not heard it.
I'll have to send it.
You'll have to send it.
Yes, this was my bar drinking songs back in the
Was it? Okay.
day.
I would definitely should have had that on play.
I'm sorry. But
yeah,
ultimately, and yeah, I'm not a psych guy, and I don't like profess to be a psych guy, but a lot of his comments were based off of what his family did or did not do. I mean, when he talked about his dad, and his dad was unwilling to get healthy, well, he's a little pissed about that, wasn't he? And then his mom supposedly, being an alcoholic, and then, turning around and kind of not being an alcoholic anymore, but still drinks. Okay, again, you and I
both
know,
passed from it.
Well,
and so he obviously was saying that he tried to get them off it, but they wouldn't, and it was their choice.
Yeah, and you know what? It ultimately is everyone's, and this is where I come back to the word choice. To start the process, to start the idea of going down this rabbit hole, we've always made choices. We've made choices in our life, good or bad. And we have to be, and the thing is that he's right about one thing. We cannot blame others for our choices. Those are ours. Mm-hmm. We own them. But here's the difference between you and myself and people that don't get the surgery. We chose to end the bad path.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't ever condemn anybody that tries to get on the path that does not succeed to get to the surgery.
Yeah, and I know that he was saying, oh no, he's got no problem with weight loss surgery. It's the fact that we're obese in the first place. It was our choice to be obese, which doesn't make sense to me because then the weight loss surgery is a part of that because we're obese.
And like I said before, not everyone has a choice. I mean, my family, when I was growing up,
hereditary type thing.
It's hereditary, folks. I mean, It was always mentioned when I was a kid. Oh, I'm just big bone. No, I was
Mm.
fat.
Yeah.
You know,
And they told me, my mum used to say to me, I'm big bones. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
no,
didn't understand that one at
yeah,
all.
well, yeah. I was big boned up until I was like, 675 pounds, and I was like, yeah, you're just morbidly obese.
Well, I was
Yeah,
slim, so I didn't get it at all. I was
yeah,
just
see,
like, what? I don't understand. What do you
yeah,
mean?
well, but like I
Mm,
said before, I think people just generally don't want to. If I have any words of advice to anybody that listens to your cousin's one and then listens to this is the only really true advice I ever had. What he said, do not get discouraged about it,
no.
because all it was piss and vinegar. What I would like to tell everybody is a couple things. Okay, number one, the journey is hard.
It is.
And there's nothing I can tell you that it's not going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Is the journey worth it? Yes. I'm able to do things I haven't done in a while. I walked in a zoo yesterday.
I know.
The last time I walked in a zoo was probably when I was 13.
Yeah. It's incredible,
That
isn't it?
was that was
But
30
it's
that was
taken
30
hard work to get there, hasn't it? Like you say,
well,
it's
no,
really
and
hard
again,
work.
this is where we're going to go. I mean, and also one other thing, don't get discouraged if the scale does not tell you what you want,
Mm.
and don't weigh yourself more than once a week. Yes,
No.
that's that. No, yeah,
We
no,
always say that once a week only,
once a week only,
not
and
every day.
no matter what that number is, how much it pisses you off, just write it down and try to lose
And
weight
move on. And
and
move
move on.
on.
It is what it is. But I think too, like we were just talking, the surgery is never going to be the end all cure all. Okay, the surgery is the next step.
Mm.
You join a group that
Mm-hmm.
we've all been into that surgery, and we all, we have different pieces of that surgery, but we also know that the journey just started.
Mm.
Okay, and like I said before, I put it on Facebook when I first got the surgery,
Yeah.
and the first thing I did is I texted this to everyone. One journey is done, the next journey to healthy is on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. It does.
And like I said before, he's right. It now becomes choice. I have been given a second lease on life.
Love.
Okay. I am not going to try to kill myself again. That's why I was able, think about it. 2 years ago, would never have joined a gym. I've joined
No.
a gym. I go 3 times a week now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, about going 3 times a week. I mean, and like it was a couple days ago, I worked out in the yard. Never would have done that a year
Mm.
ago.
Mm.
I'd have been winded.
Yeah.
Again, it's when you're 675 pounds, you're in a prison. You've made that prison. That prison is yours. And you regret every day when you wake up and you're hurting and there's pains and you can't reach stuff that you can't clean anymore.
Mm.
And guess what, folks? That's a prison that I do not want to go back to.
Nope.
And you know what? This surgery made that prison go away.
Mm. It did.
And understand something. We all know where they've been. We all know where you start from. We've all
Yep.
been.
Yep.
Our past may be different, but it all kind of leads to one outcome, and that's getting the surgery
Mm.
and trying to get things better for you.
Yeah.
Will it work for everyone? No. And that's even proven in some of the
Yeah.
numbers. I mean, and I think I sent you one of the screens. Yeah, there you go. This is from the West Texas Bariatrics. They said within the first year, 50% of the people will hit their goal. and keep at least 50% of the weight off. This is where the first year, be excited because you're going to lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Year 2 is when the work really starts.
Does.
Because at year 2, you stop losing those 4 pounds a week. You stop losing the 30 pounds a month. And guess what? Year 2 is the buckle down year.
Mm-hmm.
Year 2 is going to be the year you make enough changes in your life that no matter what, you don't go back to where you were.
No, that's right.
And again, like it says, even like 10 years out, 25% of all patients, there's 25% of those patients of the 50% will no longer have hit that 50% weight loss goal. I mean, it is.
Which is one of the things that he was talking about as well, wasn't it? It's like, well, are you going to keep it off then?
Right.
Like,
yeah. And again, I think,
I'm going to try.
But he said it so
Go
snidely.
for it.
He said it so snidely. And sorry, I got to drink some water here. And yes,
Good
everyone
boy.
that does this, stay hydrated.
Good boy.
Yeah. Ask Mel about being hydrated. Mel was one of our group members. That's the only thing she remembers me about is staying hydrated.
That's funny.
But like I said before, we've all been in that prison where we just, we can't do anything. And I have been given a new lease on life as much as you have been given a new lease on life, as much as my wife has been given a new lease on life. My wife went out canoeing last weekend.
That was fantastic, wasn't it?
And I was just so happy for her. Because she would never. 2 years ago she wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And guys, ultimately, as we talk about this journey that we go on, it's the one thing we have to understand is that no matter what, don't look at the number, because after a while the number doesn't work.
Okay? That doesn't matter.
But look at the milestones that you've been able to make, and use those. I watched was it the 1,000 Pound Sisters? It's on A&E. I think it's on A&E. Right. But if you look, there's quite a bit of a journey of a lot of them there. They're all big. The one sister, Tammy, she, would constantly fall off the wayside, and they basically told her that she was no longer a candidate for the bypass surgery. But the one sister had gotten it, and she had kind of made her, and she cheats, and she's starting to gain it back. And you can see where, if you watch this show, any microcosm, this is our world. You have one who is unwilling. Well, I think this year she gets the bypass because they've already filmed it. But last year she was unwilling to get healthy.
Yeah.
And until she realized that it's like it goes back to the addict. Until you realize that you need this, you can lie to yourself all you want. But
again, it goes back to the mental side of it, because sometimes you're not mentally able to make that decision at the time. I wasn't able to make those decisions at the time of my bipolar.
I don't think it's more able, it's prepared, mentally prepared.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
You can make, under duress, you can make any decision that you want. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I look at me. When I first thought about doing it, I was pushing almost 700 pounds, and I had lost like 50 pounds, and I got down to 650, and I was like, okay, I don't need the surgery right now. And I thought to myself, I didn't. I ballooned again, and that scared me. And that's when the opportunity kind of hit again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to play a game, and I'm not going to pussyfoot around here. We need to go. And I willed myself to be prepared for it.
Mm.
It's kind of
Yeah.
strange, but I made sure that I knew exactly what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it and how I needed to do it.
Mm.
Do I still like we had this discussion our last meeting that I was involved with. What the number one problem with any diet is that all diets take away one thing. If it's like like the paleo diet, which takes carbs away, the
Yeah.
Atkins diet, which is all protein, high protein, you know, the I eat lettuce every fucking day diet, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say this. Yeah, just
But
yeah.
but the whole point is that it takes away the one thing that you may crave, and a lot of it's pasta and a lot of it's bread.
Mm.
And yeah, I understand, but there's a point in time that you need to be able to take that in. But here's the problem. You lose all that weight that first day, and you see a pizza, and you're like, oh, I lost like 30 pounds. I'm good. I can have a piece of pizza.
Pizza.
Nope. There's your slope.
Mm.
This is what I did ever since the bypass surgery.
That's down to his choices again, isn't it? His choice thing.
It comes down to choice. But here's the thing. Does the craving outweigh the choice? Is that the mental end of it?
Mm.
Oh, did I go there? Oh, did I go there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Again, choice is a very big blanketed word.
Mm.
Okay. Everyone has choice. In like all right, I won't go there.
Be nice.
I was gonna say something that could be construed as because basically everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an opinion, just like an asshole. It's everyone has one. But
I think it's, let's not be judgmental. Everybody, I just think nobody can be judgmental. You're not in those footsteps.
no,
If
yeah,
you don't,
yeah,
if you're not in those footsteps, then I don't know his footsteps to know what he's been through. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
I don't.
I'm not going to
Again,
judge him.
and the problem is, and it all comes back to the story with the woman on the fucking chair.
Mm.
He got very judgmental. He says, did she, did something happen to her to put her that way, or did she do that herself?
Yeah, to make her go in that chair.
Again, no, you can't make that fucking choice,
I
Matt.
said I didn't know.
I don't know. Do you? Are you gonna sit there and be fucking judgmental and say, well, she's fat, so that's probably why she's there?
Yeah, yeah,
Fuck off.
yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, no.
But it goes back to what we were saying about, like, there's so many reasons. Um, I know that somebody was talking about, oh, I'll show you what she was saying, because she made a few comments, and there was somebody on YouTube that made a comment to say why they've not been able to lose the weight, and they were on surgery, etc.
Right.
So read those, Russell.
Oh yeah.
They were saying it's like it's the health issues. It's not necessarily mental issues. It's actually physical issues.
Well,
Um,
between you and I and the brick wall, it's all of it. It's an all-encompassing nightmare. I mean, I can sit there and blame my family's upbringing for my problems, but I'm not going to. Again, my past is dark. It's not the
mm,
lightest, it's not the brightest crayon on the box. It's
mhm.
on the black end of it over there. It's a very dark black. I mean, I have. All right, I'm gonna throw this out here one more time. This is the last time in any of these videos I'm gonna throw this out.
Yeah.
Okay. I had an abusive father that was an alcoholic that
Mm,
used to beat the fuck out of me at any fucking period of time. Okay. I had a mom who I loved to death, and her dying day, I respected her because she took a lot of shit. But the problem is, she turned a blind eye to the problem.
mm,
But I've never blamed her for that. Okay. I never utilized the beatings I got as a crutch. I hid a lot of my anger through a lot
mm,
of very bad vices. when I was 23 years old, you would not have liked me. I was a very, very angry person, and I spent time in psych wards because my father and I had one big Donnybrook, and basically I was tased by the city's finest to off my dad with a piece of glass to his neck, wanting to kill him because that fight turned ugly and I turned black. I blacked out. I just couldn't take it anymore. I spent 6 months. Well, no, I spent 3 months in a holding cell. And then I spent the next 3 months as an outpatient because I played football and they didn't want me to miss football.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of fucking nuts because, again, the town I lived in, it was pretty small. Yeah. But again, it was actually quite large, but that's not the point. But the point being is that I learned at a very young age to become angry and learned to turn things around on people. People that would make gawking, or it got to the point where when I got too big, where I just not went anywhere. I didn't go anywhere because I was afraid. I was afraid to break a fucking chair. I was really afraid to break a chair.
Horrible,
dude. It was it would be horrifying.
It's
to break
horrible.
A chair. Yeah. So.
Yeah, same. I just wouldn't go anywhere.
Well,
for that reason.
You would walk into a restaurant to make sure
that he again was saying you can't rely on the system because it's a crutch. You can't rely on this because it's a crutch, or if you have a crutch, you can't have things. Yeah.
But I disagree with that. I actually do disagree with that. You gotta have
a certain amount.
The surgery itself is a crutch. Think about that. The surgery itself is a crutch. It is the granddaddy of all crutches. It gives you an opportunity not to jam shit down your throat.
Yeah.
It's a crutch.
Yeah.
And how you utilize that, it's like, I always used to call it a tool. It's a tool. If you abuse a tool, it's not going to work.
No.
And again, your cousin was right, but your cousin is he's coming from a very angry background.
Different. Well, it's very different.
Well, thought process. So again, God bless him. Okay, he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to say what he's going to say. But just understand something. Don't come pissing in my fucking world until you got the facts. That's what pissed me off the most about that all his comments, because he would just sit there and I love you to death, but you're the nicest goddamn person in the world, and you just let it happen. I love you to death.
I'm not very good.
Well, you're not very combative. You don't.
For starters,
you're not very confrontational. No, you're not. No, because I love, like I've told you before. If you ever, guys, if you ever watch this video, watch her, because she'll do one of these. And then she just leans her back. The minute she leans back, she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what to say here."
Yeah, I don't want here.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I know. I hate it. And then I get all tongue-tied. So I then get all tongue-tied and like, okay, yeah, I don't know. Hands up.
Well, I think sometimes it's also too is that we have always been shunned. And when we get backed in the corner, we get very quiet. Even I still to this day, I still when I'm weight issues are always going to be my issues. I'm never in like the running gag in my house is that, even if I get to 325 pounds, I'll still be considered morbidly obese.
I know. But listen to what Sophie said to me. Oh, now you're a normal fat person, Mum. I absolutely wet myself laughing because she's right.
Well, yeah,
it made me laugh so much. I mean, people are like, I'd be really offended. I'm like, it's so funny though, because it's right. I'm now still obese. I've lost like blooming 11 stone or whatever it is, 168 pounds.
And that's phenomenal.
I know, a pair of us.
But again, but again, you're a burden on society, and
I am.
God, I'm sorry.
It is
I
what it is.
I know you'll never. I know you will never put me and him in the same venue because I would go. I would go. I would go. I would go straight on the attack. But I'm trying to be relatively nice and get people to
Oh,
understand
I'm impressed.
and here's the other big thing. Just remember, as you and this is for anybody that watches this, as you start this journey, you're going to get people like that all the time.
Yeah.
I had people before the surgery knowing I weighed over 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that surgery's not good for you. It's going to really mess you up. You shouldn't. I'm like, bitch, I can't breathe half the time walking up 3 flights of stairs.
Got to be done.
I don't give
Gotta
two
be done.
shits. I gotta do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to do it.
Again, I'm not going to be no stairmaster fucking genius after the surgery, but you know what? I can still do an elliptical. I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get up on a stairmaster a couple days ago, and I my first step was like, yeah, nope, that ain't working. I couldn't even get off the fucking ground with the stairmaster. I was like, am I doing this right? And the woman's like, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Get that off.
She's like, you should get up to here, and I'm like, no.
That's so not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Get there. But you'll get there. It will happen.
No. I'm gonna just go back to my seated elliptical and have fun doing that. But and I just I wish everyone luck, because that's what you need. And just know, no matter what, I made. Let me say this. How I say this? This doesn't sound really fucking strange. When I stopped doing most of the drugs, okay. Now, mind you, I have not stopped drinking. But I don't drink I drink maybe once a month at best. Okay. I don't think I would ever. I've curtailed the monster. I have not put the monster away. Okay. The drug end of it, I shook hands with that monster and I said, enough is enough.
Yeah. Like I did.
And again, it comes down to choice. And it does. It was my choice to make that comment. And is there days I wake up and I crave things? Yeah, betcha. And you've heard the story. When I was in my 20s, I danced with the devil in the pale moonlight. I missed.
Yeah.
Gun fired and it went this way.
Yeah.
It parted my hair. I realized when I did it and it went off, I was just like, what in fuck am I doing? And unfortunately, people that are obese, that don't see an end, find that as an out. And I pray to God that none of you that listen to this
get to that point.
Just reach out to somebody.
Feel like that. Exactly.
We have our group, and I know you can post this and post our group chats in our, and again, you're more than welcome to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
And understand something. We all have danced with that devil.
We have indeed.
What, with the drink and the drugs, and with the food.
Yeah.
And
feeling there's no way out.
Yes. And the problem is that desperation is an issue. And I think sometimes that desperation becomes a positive because it makes you make the choice. Again, we're going back to the word choice. Okay. But it also, that desperation can also be a detriment because it can make you not see that there's another option. And I want people to understand is that don't get to the point where you pigeonhole yourself into the back of the
Yeah.
corner, because if you do, yeah, again, find somebody to talk to,
Yeah. And
because
we're here.
and we're all here. Again, we have our meetings once a week. And we don't really, it's
We just
funny.
give each other.
Our meetings basically are this: how much weight did you lose? If you lost any weight, and then it turns into a basically bullshit session. We talk about everything underneath the sun, other than fucking not eating. What it comes to, and it's such an escape, and there's things that
With
that my wife
people that
does.
all understand.
Yeah, I mean, and we're there for the outreach, and
Mm.
and trust me, folks, don't think you're alone.
Mm.
Never think you're alone,
No.
because you're not.
Reach out
I,
every time.
I shit,
We're here.
we're here, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she's still not sleeping yet. Now, mind
I'm
you, it's
here
late out.
for
It's late out.
you.
It's late out here. It's late out here in Ohio.
Getting there. Getting there.
There you go. Yeah, but
Getting there. Oh, well, I really
again,
thank you so much for talking to me today and,
oh yeah,
and chatting and going through it really and what it's all really about.
yeah. Again, folks, you're not alone. Never
We're
think you
here.
are. We will, and you can reach out to reach out to Victoria through.
Because we understand.
Yeah, definitely,
We
we
understand
understand.
obesity. So whether you've had the operation, not had the operation, we understand. So
Yeah,
reach out.
we all have this. This is our handshake.
It is, isn't it? It's funny.
It's again. This is our high. We don't wave at people. We just do
Let's
this.
go. Woo!
Hi. One other
Yeah.
thing. One more little tidbit.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've done most of my life.
Hmm.
You've got to learn to make fun of yourself,
Oh, so have.
because if you're so one single minded, and you will miss the journey. You'll miss all
Okay.
the little bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's easy. I'll leave everyone with this last joke that I
Oh
was
God.
given and this is a dirty joke, so just leave it alone.
Okay.
Okay. I was at a bar, and I was probably, oh Jesus, yeah, no, there, woman, I've seen you swear like a sailor, so don't even think about that. So I'm gonna leave everyone with one more joke. Okay, I was at a bar. It was probably like the '90s, so I was probably pushing almost 500 pounds. Um, so I was sitting there drinking, didn't care. I was pretty much half crocked, anyways. I had this scumbag kid, probably in his early 20s, just probably barely old enough to drink, because in Ohio you had to be 21. So he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, I got this joke for you. My buddies want me to tell you." All right. And he goes, "My doctor says I can't sit next to fat people." Okay. All right. So where's the punchline here, son?
You see, this
You know
is.
why? I'm like, okay, please. All right. And like, so he goes, "You know why?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know why." "Well, because I'm allergic to saturated fat." This is where, number one, my attitude just kind of kicked in. Number
I know.
two, this is where my
I can
attitude really
imagine.
kicked in. And this is number three, the kid was not prepared for the answer he got. And the answer he got was this: "Well, if you would quit sucking my cock, this would not be an issue." Now understand something. Did I did
I
I
just
did I
love
get
you.
did I get angry at the kid?
No.
No. I became a smartass. And
Yeah.
here's the thing. One other thing that
Oh,
kind of,
I bet he felt that
oh
small.
no,
Going
he
back
got
to his
the
friends.
shit out of me, but I was like, yeah, everyone was laughing at him by that time, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
the one thing that we have as a defense mechanism as most fat people is our humor. Because if you ever ask anybody that like has seen a fat person, oh, they're really hilarious. They're funny, funny.
Yeah. We just want to get there before they do.
The reason why we're funny is because we're protecting ourselves.
Yeah, it's
so,
true.
It is.
So stop taking the mickey out of the fat person.
It's defense mechanism 101. Okay. So, anybody out there, understand the sense of humor. It is what it is. It's dry, and trust me, it is very dry on my.
Yeah,
but,
it's very.
Seriously, understand something. There is support out there. Get it when you can. No matter if you feel uncomfortable. You don't even have to say a word. Just listen to everybody else talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But be part of a group.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll feel comfortable enough to actually make a comment.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. Come in, don't say anything, don't even put your video on. Just listen.
Yeah.
And then eventually,
unfortunately, the first time I went to first time I think I talked for like 35 fucking minutes. And they're all going like, shut up, you fat bastard. But
no, it's been good.
All right. But
yeah, thanks very much.
Not a problem. I think we touched enough bases to figure out what to do. All right.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Not a problem.
Really appreciate it.
Not at all. Anytime you need me to talk, I can talk with the best of them.
Well, yeah, so can I. I love you.
Well, unfortunately, my wife doesn't like me talking half the time. Like, oh my God,
be quiet.
We can't.
Oh, I love you. Thanks very much, darling.
All right, talk to you.
All right then.
Bye-bye.
Disclaimer. I am not medically trained, but I am here to be a support system for you on your journey. If you have any medical concerns, please seek professional help immediately. Together,